Your face is very shiny,
You
though.
look fine.
Your face is shiny, though.
Okay. I just worked a whole shift. Shit. Give a bitch a break.
Okay, we're good. Hey, guys!
Hey guys. Welcome back to another episode of Every Dirty Detail.
Ooh, ooh. Cheers.
We're on a roll. Cheers.
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. Sunday fun day. We're recording on Sunday today. This week, I mean.
Because our schedules are
A
hectic
hot mess.
as hell. That's why. But drink.
I know. I was almost like, how are we going to even fit this in this week? Because I feel like it was just all mayhem.
Every week is stressing me out about that. The kids' sports schedule right now. Oh my god. I live at the baseball field.
We haven't even heard shit about Mandy's baseball yet.
No. I live at the baseball field now.
No, we haven't even heard anything yet. We've been waiting to figure out when he has practices or games or some sort of a schedule. All we know is the date for opening day.
I have Carter's. And I have Ari's, but it's probably going to rain again. So who the hell knows?
Yeah, that's
This
all we
weather
have.
is so wonky.
I know. I'm ready for summer. I'm ready for the warm weather.
Hell yeah, I'm ready for
the
summer.
Sunshine. I need the sunshine.
I need that, and I just need summer to come. I have plans.
I don't.
She's going to go out, guys. I'm going to take her out with me.
You just said that you were afraid that Ray would lose his shit if I went out with you.
You might, but it might be worth it.
Maybe he'd be okay with it because it's you.
It's like you don't know him.
I'll be like, we're having a girls' day.
Yeah, so it had to be me and you because he's going to be like, no.
He's going to be like, oh, all her friends? No, you're not going.
No.
Okay.
But I'm going to have fun this summer. I don't know about Sasha, but...
I'm just going to do what I do every summer, clearly. Work my life away.
I'm going to work to pay for my funness.
I actually, though, think I'm going to plan a couple trips to Tennessee to visit my brother.
Oh, fun. It's nice out there.
He called me today. I haven't talked to him in a couple months, so it was nice to hear from him.
Oh.
But yeah, he can have like you can actually physically go into the prison and visit. So, but he has to go out there.
So I'll go with you one night.
So.
It's nice out there, though.
Yeah, I've been once. I went to Tennessee once. He's in a different part right now, but I guess I can like fly into like Nashville, and it's only like an hour away from there.
I've always wanted to go to Nashville.
So, yeah, I've never been to Nashville, but that's my only thing that I want to do this summer is I want to be able to get out there a couple times to visit him.
I'll go with you at least once.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to go to Nashville. I don't know why, but I just.
I'm like, even if I go for like a weekend, like a Friday to Sunday.
I've had customers shopping me. I had a few customers that were going to Nashville this week for some kind of concert.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and they said like they were telling me about like different food places that are like really good places to listen to like good country music. Well, I don't know if you like country music, but I listen to country music.
I know a few songs.
It's good for your soul.
Not a wide variety, but a couple.
There's some good country artists out there. But yeah, they were telling me about good hotels and like stuff like that. I forgot who they were gonna go see because it's been chaos in my store. But they got the little cowgirl booths and everything. I was like, and then I had a few customers shopping for Coachella. That's on my bucket list.
I don't know if I can handle that. Isn't that like a?
It's just the thing.
A very long, extended thing.
That's a long weekend. But then I'm like, oh, it's in Arizona in the desert, bro.
I would die.
The heat. I'm like, I need my inhaler. I'd be like, you'd have to like hose me up or something. But it looks so much fun.
It does look like a lot of fun. I don't know if I'd last. I would be like, you know what? I gotta go take a nap now so then I can come back later.
Yeah. I was seeing the people that like drive up there or like it's just so pricey.
Yeah.
I feel like I need to like sell a kidney to go or something like that.
For real. I bet these people plan for that though for
years.
A long time, yeah.
There's people that camp in their cars and then they have places like over there that you can like shower. So I've seen people like showing like what the showers look like. Some of them are good and then some of them are just like, it looks like it came from a gas station kind of thing. Like
it's better than not showering.
But then like the Airbnbs too, like those prices go up for like that weekend and I'm like, oh my god.
I mean, it's better than not showering. last weekend we went to Brianna. Her son turned 1.
Mm-hmm.
We went to the birthday party, and Brianna's telling us how her fiance, their kids, like they all go camping. I think she said for like either one whole week or 2 weeks. It might have been 2. Like literally in the woods, like the whole time
You know.
in the woods. Ray's like, yeah, I think we can do that. I was like, who is we?
I
Because
know.
no way in no.
No, thank
Kaylee's
you.
was with us, and Kaylee's and I are looking at each other, and we're like, no,
I'm
no,
good.
we are absolutely the fuck not
So
doing
me,
that.
you, Ari, and Kaylee's can be at the hotel up
Yep.
the street where there's a shower.
Yeah, I was like, where are you gonna shower? They're like, oh, you're gonna shower in the river. I'm like,
No.
what? I was like, there's no way in hell you could convince me that you are clean coming out of the river. Like, no.
I have an issue with hygiene as it is with people. You want me to? No.
I was like, you want me to not brush my hair for that long? Not wash my hair for that long? I would have dreadlocks. I would walk out of there with a head full of dreads. I could never in my life do that. No, I know.
Yeah, I know people that like I just in a tent, like
that's why I was like, do you bring like an air mattress? She's like, no. We sleep on the ground in
honey, I already have back issues.
I was like,
my hip already hurts. Like, no, I'm good.
On the ground.
I barely sleep as it is. Like, you want me to? No.
I went camping one time with Amanda and like a big group of our friends along the Saco River.
Mm-hmm.
And we've got a nice spot. It was like on the beach, like it was on the sand and everything. And I went up with another one of our friends. And by the time we got up there late, I guess, but everyone's like tents were basically up. And we were like, yeah, we're looking at each other and we're like, we're not setting up a tent. I was like, I don't even know how to set up a tent. So I'm sure as hell not doing that. So we pulled his car onto the sand and we slept in the car.
I mean, I would.
And I was like, you know what? I'd rather be in this damn car than sleeping on the ground outside right now.
Yeah, no, I don't.
And if you like walked up to the thing, I think you could like pay to take a shower. Bet your ass I did that. 100% I did that because I was like, there's no way
I think
in hell I'm not showering.
The Coachella thing, like it has to be like certain packages I think that you get for like certain like showers and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, I would never not shower.
But it's the long lines that they were showing. That's why I'm like, I'd rather just save every penny and get an Airbnb and just like Uber there because like those people that stay there, that's just the lines. The line for the food for them in the morning. Like, no. I'm impatient when I have to go to Dunkin' and there's a line. Like, for me to wait in line for a shower? No.
Yeah, I couldn't do it.
But I plan on having a fun summer, guys. I don't know about you, but you can watch my kids.
Anyway. What? That's fair. That's fair, I guess.
Babysitter. But yeah, what's our topic today?
Well, anyway, yeah, let's roll into that. Ashley and I have both, I feel like, been on the same page for a little while where we talked about it on the episode we did the Tuesday check-in. Just being drained and worn out and
I'm so exhausted, you guys. I'm over here with a migraine, like yo.
And too busy showing up for everybody else and not being able to show up for ourselves. And I don't just overall kind of feeling overwhelmed and depressed. Mm-hmm. And so we want to talk about tips that we can do to like stay motivated, like what helps keep everybody else like motivated when they get into these seasons, these funks, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, because it's hard. It's not easy. I mean, even
I feel like the weather has a lot to do with it for us too.
I do. I think the weather does as well because it's so dreary and like gross and depressing outside. So nobody wants to go out there.
It's so cold lately. Why am I taking out the winter coats again, guys? Come on.
I know. We were like teased because we have like every couple days we have like one decent day, and then it's right back to this rain and cold and disgusting weather.
Yeah, the other day I had to be at work. I think it's like 7, so I left around 5:45. Tell me why I put gloves on to drive. Because it was so cold. It was like 25 degrees. I was like, dude, it's April. Why do I have gloves on?
The other day we woke up and there was snow on the car. Yep. Mm-hmm. I thought Ray was fucking with me. He came upstairs. I'm doing my hair. He's like, there's snow on the car. Mm-hmm. And I was like, no, there's not. He's like, no, there's snow on the car. I was
You
like,
know, like
what?
where the tires, there's like things of ice. I was like, yo, what is going on?
Yeah, I was like,
Wasn't
how
it
is there
like
snow?
70 degrees a couple weeks ago?
Hmm.
Yeah, I think the weather has a lot to do with it for us up here in New England.
I think so too. It really sucks.
So, how do you stay motivated?
You want to know what? I don't even know if you can say that I stay motivated, but for me, I'm just like, you got to keep trucking through. And that's just what I
Yeah.
tell myself. You got to keep going. You got to keep going. You got to do this. You got to do. You know what helps me, I think, a lot too, is I'm someone who has to have a schedule
Mm.
and stick by that schedule. So, like, that's what even keeps me on track with going to the gym. I swear, if I could get my food under control, I would be ripped right now. I would be a full-on muscle mommy if I could get my food and the intake of my food correct. Because I would have a nice ass body if I could do that, but I can't. But I can make it to the gym. But that's because it's so embedded in my schedule.
Mm.
You know, I wake up in the morning, get everyone off to school, get myself to work, leave work, round them all up, come back here, get ready, go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if I didn't have that schedule, like I'm so scheduled to where if I'm not at the gym by 4:30, like if like Manny doesn't want to come and he's like, can you wait and wait for Ray to get home from work to stay with him? And I'm like, no, because if I go to the gym, I'm not going to want to go to the gym any later. If I
Mm-hmm.
don't stick by my schedule of when I go to the gym,
Throws everything off.
I'm not going to, yeah, I'm not going to go. I'm not going to want to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's one thing for me. And I'm trying to build a fat ass. So that's another reason I keep motivating the gym.
Let me know what you're
I
doing
want
because
an
I want to do
absolute
that
dump
too.
truck. So that's motivation for sure. But yeah, I think just the fact that like I have to get it done. I just tell myself that like you have to get it done. You have to do this. You have to do this. And I don't really know if you can even consider that motivation, but I mean that's just how I do it.
I mean, I say the same thing. I had to truck through it.
Yeah.
I feel like I do need to fit the gym more into my schedule, but because now the kids are like t-ball and softball, and I already have like I think it's the drive coming home from work that I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, and then I'm literally sitting there in traffic, and I'm like, oh, I just want to go home. I just want to lay down.
Yeah.
Then these kids are running at me, mommy. I'm like, oh my god. So that's why I like going at night, but by the time like they're in bed, it's like 10 o'clock, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so quiet. I just sit on the couch and I'm like, but then I'm like, shit, lunches, clothes,
Mm-hmm.
my stuff. There, it's just the hassle. I feel like I need an assistant for my life. If anybody wants to be my
That
assistant,
would be
I'll take
very helpful.
applications. Yeah. So I don't know. I think I do the same thing. Like I try to truck through it, but I don't know.
But there's always those certain things that just fall to the back burner, right?
Yeah, I haven't. I'm not even. I haven't gone to the gym in a while. I feel like I need to. It might help with like either the stress or depression sometimes that I get. But then I'm dealing with this divorce, so I think it's just a ball of like emotions up and down, up and down, up and down. So I don't know.
I do think that going to the gym mentally helps me a lot.
See, I think I just need to like do
But I
that.
think for you, it's a matter of actually getting yourself there and getting yourself into a rhythm of going.
Yeah.
And then you'll notice it. But, obviously when you feel this, like the way you feel, it's hard to even get yourself to even get to the gym. There was something I saw one time. I can't remember where, who it was or what, but it was a woman. She was talking about that she really wanted to get into fitness, but she was so nervous and
Hmm.
was intimidated by the gym and all the things. So she told herself like every day she could do like a little bit more. So it started off with she would just drive herself to the gym and then leave, not even go in. And then she started where she'd walk in and she'd walk out. And then she'd walk in and maybe step on the treadmill for a minute or so and then walk out. And she just kept building on that and building on it and building on it until she felt comfortable getting to the gym, going in and doing a whole workout. But
Oh.
that's what she did to like get herself in there. I mean, sometimes even if I have only 30 minutes, or sometimes even if I don't have like, me, I love the weights. I love weight training. But
No.
sometimes even if I'm like mentally like I don't even think I can lift anything up, like especially if I've had a rough day at work or anything like that, I'll just go in and do cardio in the sauna.
Mm,
So I'll go either the elliptical or the treadmill, and then I go sit in the sauna. And
an
I
elliptical
love the
could
sauna.
kick your ass.
But sometimes I just do that. But to me, I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I still got there and I still did something. I still moved my body. And there's never a time where I leave the gym and I'm like, damn, I wish I didn't go.
True.
I always leave the gym like, oh, thank God I pushed myself to come.
Yeah, I definitely like. I need to like fit it in my schedule. Even and I was like, oh, maybe I should just get up at like 4:30. But then I'm like, bruh. But then I know at that time it's like super super packed in there too. So I don't know. I gotta fit it in my schedule though. I really do because I'm over here paying for a gym membership that I'm not even going to.
I think that's motivation in itself, and the fact that you're paying for it and you're not using it. Because in my eyes, I'd be like, damn, I'm wasting all this money. I need to start using this.
Yeah, so I really got to. I'm trying to figure out like a schedule that I need to fit it in there. Even if I go again at night, because I used to love going at night, and then I can come home and shower, and then I knock right out.
Yeah.
Maybe I need to do that again, because I used to like going around like 10, go for like 45 minutes. I like doing the cardio machines. I like the treadmill, and then I'll go do the bike for a little bit sometimes.
Well, it gets your heart pumping and things moving.
Then I can, that like 6-minute ride home, I'm just like, get in the shower, I get everybody's stuff done, and then I go to bed.
There you go. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna start with like 2 days a week.
I think another thing when you're trying to stay motivated and stay on top of doing anything is also like holding yourself accountable. And if you can't hold yourself accountable, like maybe doing it with a friend so they can hold you accountable as well. Like the both of you guys can hold each other accountable.
Are you coming at night with me?
That's negative.
She's asleep by then.
I'm knocked the fuck out by then. Yes.
I go to bed at like 1 in the morning. Maybe that's my problem.
I'm like 10 o'clock, like, I'm going to bed, so. And that's if I make it till 10. Sometimes Manny will be like, can you lay with me? And I knock out with Manny's bed, and I'm like, forget it.
See, Carter does that. He goes, Mom, cuddle with me. I was like, lay on your bed. I got something to do. So I just go to the kitchen, and then like 20 minutes later, I go to check on him, and he's out because I know if I lay down with him, it's a wrap.
Yeah, Manny tries to stay awake as long as he can.
I've done that, and then I make sure I put the alarm on my phone, because if I fall asleep and then it's the next morning and it's 9 o'clock in the morning, and I'm like, oh my God, we're all late. Like, no, can't be doing that. So yeah, maybe I'll do that. I'm gonna try 2 days a week.
See, that's something small like that. That's simple.
We're gonna try.
I think Tuesdays are my favorite day because I drop off the kids at school and I go right to the gym. And I swear, if I could start every morning off with a workout
on Thursdays,
it's amazing. Exactly, because you're already out of the house anyway. Because you're already dropping everybody off. So instead of just going right back home, go to the gym for a half hour.
I should do that after I drop both of them off. Go for a little bit. How is it around 9 o'clock? Is it crazy in the morning?
It's not terrible in the morning. Usually I get there by like 7:30 on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And even Saturdays, I leave my overnight shift and I go and I'm there for like 7:30.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturdays it's a little busier, but Tuesdays it's not that bad.
I'm gonna try it.
But we did get some responses too, so we can talk about those.
Some people told me that I did ask a few girls in my store. One told me when she's feeling very unmotivated and stuff like that with school and everything, because they're like seniors, so freaking about
youngins.
Oh yeah, they're freaking about all this crazy stuff. One goes to her mom because her mom is very like upbeat, very positive and stuff like that. And they have certain affirmations that they do and they say. And her mom will have her list like pros and cons of like whatever situation she's dealing with and stuff like that.
Okay.
Because she's scared, she's going to college and she's like, my mom can't come with me. I'm like, you will be fine.
She's only a phone call away.
Yeah, I'm like, and your school is like an hour away from your house. Like,
oh yeah, that's not bad.
If you were leaving and going across the country, then I'd be like, dang.
Yeah.
But like, I get it. Like, you know what I mean? Like jitters and stuff like that. So her and her mom do certain affirmations, and stuff like that. And her mom has like certain books and stuff. Like, she has some kind of poetry book that it's all like positive and like motivation. So she does that. One of my other coworkers said that she just goes and just plays some meditation music and kind of decompresses, and she'll make a list of like why certain things like brought her down and how do we fix it.
Okay.
So that's how she can like, all right, so it got me down this week, so next week like we're gonna do this and this to like boost me up kind of thing. I was like, oh, maybe I'll try that.
I know Ray listens to a lot of like motivational speakers and like motivational videos.
Mm-hmm.
I know he does that, so I know that helps him. You know who else? I don't know if this falls into like motivation, but I know like I was talking to Shannon the other day
Mm-hmm.
about, just when you're in a slump and you're just not feeling like you can do basically anything. And she, of course, my phone's recording us right now, so I can't look at exactly what she said, but words of affirmation was something that she said. Also, grounding yourself. Like, she is like, I will, barefoot go outside, and it's an actual thing. You can look it up. Grounding. It's called grounding.
Really?
And she'll stand on sometimes the cement, but I think it's really good if you stand on like the actual like dirt and stuff. Like there's like some sort of energy that goes through when you stand on like the ground outside.
I know how I feel about stuff like that.
You can wash your feet when you come back in the house.
I know, but
it's supposed to be. It is actually supposed to be really good for you. And journaling was another thing she mentioned, which I've heard before too. I know like a lot of that is, like I said, I don't know if it's would give me the motivation to do anything, but I feel like it might help me get out of like a spot where I'm not feeling too great, to like break me out of that, and then I can get the motivation to go do whatever it was. So I like those ones.
See, some of like people tell me about like the motivational speakers, and then I'm like, but do they live their lives like that?
I always wonder that too. Yeah.
And then like certain things with some of them, crazy shit comes out, and I'm like, how are you gonna tell me to do something and you're doing the opposite?
Yeah.
So that's why I can't listen to them, because that's all I think about.
I don't blame you. I don't blame you there.
So that's why I'd rather just phone a friend and be like, yo, call Eli real quick. Be like, bitch, snap out of it. He tells me. But light the fire under my ass. But I don't know. I did the journaling thing, but I think it's because I was typing it on my phone
versus actually
maybe
writing like pen and paper.
Yeah, maybe I should try that and do that. And I don't know. I told the girls like, let me know what kind of like books her mom has. Maybe like if I have that. Somebody else did tell me that in her bedroom, I had asked that customer because she overheard us, and she says that she has different quotes around her bedroom and in her mirror of her bathroom. And she has like sticky notes. So
I've seen that.
One will be like if she's feeling down. So she'll flip the little sticky note over, and there's like a whole bunch of them. She has them like lined up. She says she has really bad OCD. And it'll say like this for like feeling down and like stuff like that.
Okay.
And I was just like, that's kind of cool. But then I'm like, oh, my kids
it's
are
a lot of
so
work too.
nosy. They're gonna just like yank this stuff off. Like Carter's at that age, like he just touches everything all the time. But that's what she does, and she says it's very like helpful. She goes, my house looks crazy. She even has some like when she opens her kitchen cabinet and stuff like that, like
that's
little things
commitment.
like that. Yeah, I was like, you don't have kids, right? She's like, oh no. She's like, it's only me and stuff like that. I was like, oh okay, because my kids would be tearing this, or like Carter's in it. He wants to write on everything. Like he'd be like coloring and probably put happy faces on there. Here you go, mom. But I was just like, that seems like, it does seem like a lot of work. But she says it's very like helpful for her and stuff like that. Because she says, she's in her 30s, and like her family's like, oh, you need to find a man and like get married and like that kind of stuff. So she's just like, I'm good. I'm very happy with my career. I've gotten to a place that like I got the position that I wanted. So I want to enjoy it, but I also want to embrace life, because she's going on a few like trips overseas, like with some of her girlfriends who are kind of in the same situation. Their family's like, oh, you're this age, you should be married, you should already have kids by now. And she's at a point like, she's like, I don't really know if I want kids. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
Some people don't want kids. It's totally fine not to want them.
That's something I hear more and more often now.
Time.
Are women that are just opting out of having kids.
Mm-hmm. She asked me, I was like, yeah, I have two. And she's like, how expensive? I was like,
I have no money ever.
yeah, I pay my bills and then I figure out what my kids need. Groceries, all that stuff, because I want to cry when I do grocery shopping. But I'm like, I love them to death. But if you don't want kids, that's okay. I know people that don't have kids and their kids are their fur babies.
Mm-hmm.
But even that, like animals, like having them as pet, that's expensive too.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, bro, that's just like another like a human being. But she says she just wants to like travel. Her and her friend, like they're in the same boat. Their family's like, you need to have babies now. You should have already had a husband. And like, I'm like, oh, they gotta be old school.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, but she did tell me that's what she's sticky notes around for certain situations, and that's what helps her motivate herself and stuff like that. I was like, kind of like that.
I like that one too. It's a lot of work, I feel like, but I like it.
I know my kids are just gonna like touch it and just, they're just gonna do things to it. So, but yeah, I don't want to read everybody's name, but yeah.
No, don't read their names. Just
I was gonna be like, no, sir.
No, just read their responses.
Guys, I have like a bad migraine today. I'm going through it today. This person said, I think about my kids and them seeing me stress the fuck out. And I don't want them to think that I can't. It was a guy. He said that daddy has any kind of weakness. That is all I need to keep me going. I feel like every parent,
their number one thing is always their kids.
Is like that because I'm not gonna lie, I have certain meltdowns. I'll either text you and stuff like that if you're my friends. I don't know why the ones I've had lately, it's before I have to get the kids from school or like in the morning before having to deal with all the chaos. But I just make sure they don't see me sad or upset or like crying or anything like that. So I feel like every parent is on that same boat.
Yeah.
Do you do that? Have meltdowns?
I mean, I feel like I live in a state of being numb a lot. So.
Yeah, I did for a little bit and fucked up.
Which is not good either, but I do very much.
Yeah, you might want to let that shit out. So
I live in that state and I've lived in that state for a very long time.
You should go. We should do like kickboxing classes and just.
Yeah.
But before we do that, we need to go to one of those rage rooms. Because
this is off topic.
But it's motivation.
Motivation.
That'll motivate you.
Maybe. Smashing
motivate
shit.
and heal you. See? We're onto something. Anyways. The next person said, I book a vacation or a camping trip to look forward to. You had me on vacation.
I don't know about this camping trip.
Yeah, no, guys, it's not us. And
won't find me outside, especially on the ground.
No, not me. And research these places to make the best adventure. Planning extra keeps me focused in it and excited for it. I'm down for the whole vacation thing.
I think just planning, having something planned in general
to look forward to that.
Yeah, kind of gives you like the motivation for things because it's something you're looking forward to doing or somewhere you're looking forward to going or whatever the case may be, which is, obviously that's motivating.
Yeah. Just the camping is not for me. I like to watch it on TV and be like, why did you do that? But, but I think the trip, like, because you'll be at work like, yes, I have so many weeks left and like all that kind of stuff. So I'm definitely here for a vacation. Somebody else said, I put myself to work out even if it's for 30 a day. I think she puts 30 minutes. I think she puts 30 minutes a day. A lot of self-talk. I dress up and try to look good because when I look good, I feel good and it helps me.
I think that's a huge thing too.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know on like days where I just have sweats and my hair's not done and I might not even do makeup or whatever the case may be, I always feel shittier on those days versus days where I actually put effort into getting ready.
Yeah, and I'm not with this whole. See, I feel like I wear my sweats mostly in the house while I'm like cleaning, doing stuff like that. I see so many people out with sweatpants, and that just puts me in a funk. And I don't think I can be like
Mm.
in sweatpants all the time because I
Yeah,
feel like
I
that's
think
just
it would
like
bring down my mood.
cozy. Let me be lazy on the couch, snuggled
Mhm.
up, watching a movie. I don't knock it, you guys. If you can pull it off and do it, but for me, I just feel like I need to be in my house with my sweatpants on and nice and comfy and stuff. So, okay. The next person said, oh, someone had said, I have the same issue. Me too. We can be friends and get motivated together. Well, this next person said, well, at 45 years old, I'm here to say I basically can't figure it out right now.
Same.
All of us, girl. But I know that once it's not stupid cold, I'm going to feel much better. We all feel you, girl.
Agreed.
Maybe we can stick together and carry flashlights at the same time, providing one another with much needed brightness in our lives. Worth the shot. That's cute though.
That
I
is
like
cute.
that.
I like that one too. I enjoyed that response.
I'm telling you, I think if for us, this weather is like bad. Like it was snowing a couple of days ago, guys.
Yeah.
In April. Then I'm afraid we're gonna get like a blizzard soon.
Don't even put that out there.
We had snow the other day. That's pretty much it.
But I think those were good responses. I mean, I think it's kind of across the board. It's almost the same things.
Mm-hmm.
Kids try to, keep yourself motivated, because you don't want your kids to see you struggling or hurting or whatever it is. And
Yeah, very true. Because I always want my kids to like stay positive and have like good energy like around people and stuff like that. I don't want them to be like, man, because I see some of these kids when I pick the boys up, like at the, why do they look so sad?
I don't know.
I want to be like, are you okay? But then I don't want to be like that creepy parent that put the window down. And I'm not even picking up like my actual kid. I'm just picking up one of my nephews. They're going to be like, ma'am. But they just look so sad all the time. And be like, okay. Even like when the girls like in my store come in, I'm always like, how was school today? They're like, ugh. I'm like, how was school today? And then they're like, oh, we had SAT prep and like this and that. And I'm like, oh, you're fine. Like, it's a part of life. Like, there's a whole world out there, guys. You have no idea.
I know. To be young again.
Yeah. If I knew what I knew now, I'd do things a little different in certain situations.
Oh, hell yeah.
I would do things a little different, guys. Just a little bit. But no, sometimes like, even just I work in the mall, so like just even seeing them so like they all look so sad sometimes.
Yeah, I think everyone's lacking motivation to do a lot of things.
Yeah. I think for us New Englanders it's the fucking weather, guys.
Just blame it on the weather.
I am, because you think about it, last year it wasn't this bad in April.
No, I think by like we're about to hit mid-April, so I think by this point it started to.
I had
warm
flip
up.
flops on.
Yeah.
I had one of those Snapchat things, like show me what I did
Oh,
around
yeah,
this.
yeah.
So I was like, oh, see, the weather was nice, guys. Like, didn't have a winter coat on. My kids didn't have winter coats on, so I think it's the weather for us that's putting everyone, because people are very moody lately, and I want to smack the shit out of them.
Okay, well, that's enough to keep you motivated. So
I always choose violence, guys. Sorry.
all the time. But yeah,
you're here for it.
Always.
Just don't piss Sasha off, because she will cut you off like you do not exist.
You will be dead to me.
Like you do not exist. She would like cut you off.
I'm very good at it. But anyway, yeah, if you guys have any other, tips or tricks that you use to stay motivated or pull yourself out of a funk, definitely let us know. We look forward to reading them. Thank you, everyone who always participates in these little things when I post them online and they actually respond to it. I love you guys.
I ask random customers in my store.
I always go to social media.
I mean, you tell me, and then most of the time I'm already at work.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, hey guys, I need something for my podcast.
But no, we appreciate everyone who actually responds, which
Yeah.
is great. And everyone who listens. I was texted last night by Jordan, Sammy's soon-to-be wife, actually. and she was listening to the podcast in the car, and she was like, I just, listened to your podcast in the car, and her daughter Dylan, you remember Dylan? In the back seat, like pulled her headphones off and was like, is that my Sasha? And I was like, oh, I love her. But no, just to like know that, because when we first started, I think a lot of people were like, yeah, we're gonna listen, but like obviously they trickle off. Not everyone stays listening forever.
Yeah.
But to hear when someone, either like Shannon was like, I caught up on all the podcasts, and
I love hearing
Jordan's like, oh my God, I was just listening to it and I love it. Like, thank you guys so much. We love that feedback.
One of the teachers in Carter School that knows David, she says that she's like 2 episodes behind because I see her when I bring Carter. And I was like, oh, thanks for listening. She goes, you guys have a little vibe and stuff like that. You guys are so good together. I was like, oh, thank you. And one of the teachers was like, you have a podcast? And I was like, yeah, me and my sister just, we just started and stuff like that. So I told her like how it came about. And she's like, I love that you like, she's checking in on you, you check in on her and stuff like that. She goes, people need that.
I know. Like, Amanda, she called me the other day and she was like, she loves all the podcast episodes, but she was like, I really loved that Tuesday check-in one. Like, it was just like no subject. Like, you guys just chatted. And
but this is why we literally talk on the phone.
Yeah, this is like,
I tell her, are you done at the gym? Because I'm headed to work and I have sometimes a 45 minute to an hour ride depending on traffic.
And usually I'm like, all right, leave in like 5 to 10 minutes. I'll call you.
Yep. And I'm already like in my car. She calls, and that is literally how we talk all the time.
But yeah, so thank you everyone who continues to listen.
Thanks for the support.
Yeah, definitely. And thank you guys for listening to today's episode. Anything else?
No, that's about it. But I do have some juicy topics that just don't keep your kids around. That we may do.
No, we might have trigger warnings.
Not even trigger warnings, but there's other things we wanted to talk about, but we had to figure out an age gap.
We try to keep it
as
somewhat
PG as we
can.
I
would say maybe PG-13.
Yeah, something like that, guys.
Kind of.
But there's some stuff we're gonna try to talk about soon.
Yes. Yeah. But other than that, we'll see you guys next week. Thank you.
Bye.